Hello and welcome. My name is John Dickinson for Boris Effects, and in this particle illusion tutorial, we're going to continue with the controls window, this time looking at particle parameters and how you can customize them to change your particle's behavior. So let's get started. Okay, so now let's look at the parameters for particles. These can be split up into three groups. You have your basic parameters, and remember these are the ones that can be scaled by the similarly named parameters under the emitter. You've got your variation parameters, and you've also got your over-life parameters. Obviously, basic parameters are pretty straightforward, and we've already been adjusting those to create this look. Keep in mind that these values are relative, and they don't actually represent any specific kind of units, like degrees or percentage. Variation parameters are used to add variation to your simulations. And these parameters are important for making your particle simulations look a little less uniform, a little more natural. And lastly, we have the over-life parameters. And we use these to change the particle over its life. And to understand how these are different from keyframing the basic parameters, let's use size as an example. Let's set some keyframes for size. If I come back to the beginning and set a keyframe by choosing linear, let's change this to something quite small. Just move ahead a little bit and change this to something quite big. You can already see what's happening. Only the particles that are born at that time where that keyframe was created are actually born at that size. Everything born before that has the keyframe or size value of this keyframe. Let's undo that and just click size over life. And when I do that, I want you to notice how the graph view changes. At the moment, this is the duration of the animation. You can see it's set to 300 up here. When I click size over life, this changes from a value of 0 to 1, which is the life of the particle. If I click and drag, notice how the time indicator for over life is independent of the main current time indicator. So let's adjust these keyframes. It's already keyframed, you can tell by the red box. I'm going to grab the first keyframe and just bring that down to 0. And you can see the particles shrinking down. So now the particles will scale up over their life, which is really pretty. If I just bring this one right back to here, just bring this up so we can see it. You can see the particles scaling up very quickly at the beginning of their life. We can go beyond 100 to exaggerate this. Just bring it up to 200, maybe bring it back a little closer. There we go. So now they're popping in. Let's just set another keyframe just by control clicking on the graph and another one after that. And let's bring this down just to see what happens. Up they come and down they go. So by bringing this up to 200, we've effectively doubled the size parameter value. Might just bring this across, and this one first, bring it across. Bring this down, and let's take a look at that. And now they're gently scaling down again towards the end of their life. So definitely spend some time getting acquainted with these different parameters. For now, we'll just finish off by looking at the Hamburger menu for particles. If I click on that, here you can choose to rename particles. You can move the particles up and down in the stack, but unlike emitters, this doesn't move them in front or behind on the stage. There's also a disable option, an option to delete particle type, which is grayed out because we only have one particle, and a duplicate particle type option. And this is really handy for creating variation once you've got your particles set up. So if I duplicate this and make adjustments to the duplicate, adjust the weight, maybe make those go a little faster. And once again, change the particle shape image. What if there's a different kind of heart? Let's try this slightly blurry one, or slightly softer one. It's looking good. And maybe just decrease the size and increase the number. So once you've got your main particle type set up, being able to duplicate the particle type and just adjust the settings slightly gives you some really nice variation. That's pretty. Those slightly blurrier ones look like they're almost affected by depth of field. Okay, so hopefully that's given you a little greater understanding of the main controls in particle illusion, and is going to allow you to approach your own particle simulations with more confidence. You can download Particle Illusion standalone for free at boriseffects.com, including thousands of free particle emitter presets. Continue watching this Getting Started tutorial series to learn more about what you can do with particle illusion, and find out more about the plug-in version of particle illusion with extra features, including built-in Mocha motion tracking at boriseffects.com.